This to me has so many twists and turns compared to season one, but I loved season one. So were you guys a fan of season one going into season two? And was there any pressure like going into this? And
Um,
Well, you go ahead, Lex.
okay. Yeah, I watched season one when it first came out. I was such a fan of it. I loved like how like they did like the structure of like the three different timelines, and then also it was just so juicy. So I was hooked, and then I was so excited to hear that they were doing a season two. And when I joined, I was really excited to see and like hear how the story was going to unfold, especially with my character because she's just so complex. But when it came to thinking, about the differences between season one and season two and kind of feeling a little bit of pressure. I don't think that we've felt any pressure just because we definitely had the support of, the same team from season one there behind season two. And then also talking to a lot of the actors from season one, them being just so supportive. It definitely made a difference in those moments where we kind of felt as though like, where we would hope that, we were doing the show justice because I mean, they knocked it out the park for season one, so we just wanted to like live up to that standard and make sure that we did the same thing.
Yeah, well said. Everything that she said, except I hadn't seen the show yet. Until after I booked the show, I watched all of season one. I think I would just like didn't want to psych myself out or get too excited, but I loved it and I binged the whole thing in 3 days. And I was like, okay, this is what we're living up to. This is, what we're trying to accomplish, just something new and something fresh. So it was exciting. And I think the whole team kind of like calmed our worries about replacing season one or like trying to be like live up to it. It's like, it's a whole brand new story, it's a brand new ballpark. We're just using the same formula and the same devices that we used in season one that were so effective. So
yeah, and I love that it's just like a completely different story each time. It gets us like more excited. And the season one like ended perfectly. Like there was no more to that story. Now going back to the timelines, what is it like filming all of those different timelines and kind of, as a 90s baby going back to the 2000s?
It's awesome. I mean, first of all, like I was so excited that they decided to do it in like the Y2K era. Like I feel like all of those trends were already kind of coming back. So like how fun to get to immerse myself in that even more. So yeah, all of that was great. And then the three different timelines was really fun because I get to do three different versions of like a 2000s 1999-year-old, like 1999 teenager. And like, we have the tomboy, like goody two shoes who doesn't like wear any makeup and just like wears t-shirts and shorts and overalls, and then we have like the girly Y2K like iconic vibe, and then we have this like 90s early 2000s grunge kind of like emo vibe, which is fun too, so it was great.
It was so fun. I mean, it was definitely like a little bit of a challenge, I can't lie, especially because, there would be days where we would film like all three different timelines in one day. So emotionally, as an actor, it was a little bit challenging, but it was also really fun to be able to kind of like create these characters from scratch and then also like create like then different variations of her and what she goes through or what she looks like when she's going through something. But I love it. I think, like I said, I think that that's what makes the show also so different and so fun to watch is being able to see those three different versions of the characters that we love. And especially when it comes to this season, I think that the characters get way more complex than we see when we first see them in episode one and episode two. So I'm really excited for people to see like the progression of how they get to where they are when we see them in Summer 2000.
I have 1 minute left. Were you guys aware of all of the twists and turns that we see in each episode going into it?
Yeah,
Not really.
not really, like kind of, but really no. But yeah, a
We
lot.
knew some.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of things were like teased to us, but we didn't like fully know where it was gonna go until we got the script in front of us. But we had no clue who did it. I mean, when we were all nobody knew who did it when we were filming. They
Oh,
kept
the
that
very
a
end.
secret. Yeah.
Wow.